First shot that I took in Kal Ho Naa Ho was not in the film. Shah Rukh's first scene in Kal Ho Naa Ho was that scene. He asked me that, I've just had a heart attack. Why am I running? I said, Shah Rukh, you look so good when you run. You just run. Women go mad. He said, let's take. Falling in love is not so simple anymore. He said, हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाव है कभी कभी ये धूप जिंदगी. I said, Javed Saab, no hit song has started with the word her. See, the thing with Salman and Akshay and Shah Rukh, it is that they know their fan base so well. They will get in to a point, and then after a point they'll say, I don't think that we should be doing this. This whole King of Romance a title that Mr. Yash Chopra has been labelled with, it's so unfair because he actually was the king of drama. Okay. I mean, whether it's Diwar and Trishul and Kala Patthar, they are not romance.
Nikhil Advani, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you for having me.
Nikhil sir, after making an award-winning show with Mumbai Diaries, whose second season recently dropped on Amazon Prime Video, looking back, how creatively satisfying was the whole experience for you?
Doing anything on OTT is for me, I find extremely liberating. I mean, I've used this term before. Being able to collaborate in this case with people like Aparna and Saira, and the entire team at Amazon. It's when you're sitting across the table, there is a mutual respect between the guys at Amazon, the people at Amazon and the people at MA, and we all know that what we are trying to do is going to be very tough. B, there's a responsibility to, because it's taken from certain real life kind of instances, events, etc., etc. So there's a certain amount of responsibility, medical dramas. You got to get all those things right. So yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, while 20 years I've done a lot of feature films, but I really think I've come into my own, so to say, with the advent of OTT. Yeah.
It looks like you have sort of become the champion when it comes to creating drama and tension. Do you think creating drama in any scene comes easy to you?
I'm melodramatic in life. Even now, when we sat down, you asked me why I'm feeling so low. I have a pinched nerve, and I've been moping around the office. In any case, most people think that I'm the worst boss to have. I don't smile, I don't laugh, I don't understand why you're feeling happy. What is the reason for you to feel happy? But with the pinched nerve and my arm paining, and it's so like I said, I like to make everything a little more dramatic. My wife will also attest to that. My daughter will attest to that. Sure. So yes, drama comes naturally to me because I think that especially children of my generation, we grew up on the Salim Javed, and most people will tell you Amitabh Bachchan phase, but we grew up really on the Salim Javed, Manmohan Desai, Prakash Mehra, Ramesh Sippy. These are the directors that I gravitated towards, and drama comes so easily. I've told this to lots of people. I find this whole King of Romance a title that Mr. Yash Chopra has been labelled with, it's so unfair because he actually was the king of drama. Okay. I mean, whether it's Diwar and Trishul and Kala Patthar, they are not romance. Yeah. Dar, it's not romance.
Yes.
So I think drama it is inherently. Our stories need to be dramatic, I think. Yeah.
So then, which boxes need to be ticked when you are writing a scene which is high on tension and drama?
Conflict.
Yeah.
Character progression, dignity of character. Dignity of character is something that I learned very. I believe I learned it by watching a lot of what Mr. Aaron Sorkin does with his characters. He has immense respect for his characters, and I think that that's a very important thing that I tend to look for when we are sitting inside a writing room or when I'm just talking to a writer one-on-one. A character, even if he is grey, even if he is negative, he should never be lose dignity. He should never let the other person feel that.
I thought you'd say racing against time. There's a ticking time bomb, like maybe in this case of a medical drama.
Yeah, so racing against time is specific to only Mumbai Diaries, right? I mean, Mumbai Diaries possibly to Airlift. But otherwise, racing against time is not is symptomatic of the subject, not really of everything. Whenever I'm working on anything, whether it is Rocket Boys, or whether it is Mumbai Diaries, or whether it is Veda, or whether it was Kal Ho Naa Ho, it's all about these conflict, character progression, dignity of character.
Now, you have directed the biggest stars from Salman Khan to Shah Rukh Khan to Irfan Khan and Akshay Kumar. Now, having made Mumbai Diaries with young actors, how different is managing the talent and directing actors, say from young actors to established big stars?
So with established big stars, especially when you talk about them as stars, right? The important thing I'm so glad that you've taken Irfan's name along with Salman and Akshay and Shah Rukh. I mean, he somewhere up there in heaven, he's smiling, maybe just laughing. That we are putting him in the same box. See, the thing with Salman and Akshay and Shah Rukh, it is that they know their fan base so well. They know what has allowed them to become what they've become. That they will get in to a point, and then after a point they'll say, I don't think that we should be doing this because matlab kya hai ki whatever. Whenever they have broken that, when Akshay did it with Airlift, he soared, right? And I think that more and more they do it, I think that they'll surprise themselves. Yeah. Amir actually has made a profession out of that. Yeah. With Irfan, he only wants you to challenge him. Yeah. He only does not want to come across as Irfan Khan. He wants to come across as Wali Khan. He wants to come across as Pan Singh Tomar. He wants to come across as this thing that he played from in Namesake, So I think the younger actors are more in that space where they are willing to submit themselves to you as a storyteller, as a director, and say ki, and they are and if they don't, then I think that somewhere or the other they are doing a disservice to themselves, right? In the sense that I think that and it doesn't need to be that I am the director and you're the actor. At the end of the day, it's a collaboration. Abhay Pannu was a debut director in Rocket Boys. Yeah. Jim Sarab had never worked with us in MA Entertainment, but they just struck. They were like a house on fire. You had to get them out of moving on to the next take, but they just wanted to keep doing better and better and better. I think that kind of energy and that kind of collaboration and that kind of teamwork is what you can do or you can expect to do with younger actors.
You think they have more risk-taking ability compared to established actors?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, I think that there's no question that Salman, Shah Rukh and Akshay and the huge stars who are touching 500 crores and now 1,000 crores or whatever, they are taking a risk with every shot that they are doing, right? Their risk is possibly much more. Have I done this before? Should I do it again? Should I push the envelope? If I push the envelope, how much should I push the envelope? And every nuance, every move, every dialogue, everything of theirs today is being analyzed and dissected, and ये उन लोगों ने यहाँ से किया या ये एक्टर ने उससे ये बेटर किया है, ये ही किया है, साउथ में उसने ये किया है, यहाँ पे वेस्टर्न, so everything, so their risk is I think very different from the risk that a young newcomer would possibly be taking, which is that will I be noticed? Sure. Right? Will I be able to deliver? Do I need to start creating some kind of nuance which is only mine? These kind of things, I think that very different, but I think the risks are equal to everybody, sure, if not more for the stars. Yeah.
Sure. Now, you made an animated feature called Delhi Safari in the year 2013.
Yeah.
It had voices of Akshay Khanna, Govinda, had music by Shankar Hassan and Loy. Why India or Bollywood don't make many animation films?
In India, we still call animation cartoon.
Okay.
Right? The day the studios and the producers start believing that a Delhi Safari can actually be a summer blockbuster or Eid release, the day they believe that it can be a Diwali release, just like a Salman Khan film or just like a Yash Raj film. I think the day they believe that, um, we'll stop calling it cartoon and we'll start calling it animation. Toy Story 4, I think about a couple of years ago when it released,
Yeah.
was pitted against Christopher Nolan's film
Yeah.
as a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
Possibly did equal numbers. So really the West views animation as an art form and as a genre and not as cartoons, right? It's not as cartoons for children. Children
For
ke
everyone.
picture nahi hai. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
The advantage that I got with Delhi Safari was that the producer of the film, Crayon Pictures, Kishore Patel, they were already in the world of tech. So he didn't treat it as cartoons. He really thought about it as an opportunity for him to branch out into something else that he wanted to do. He wanted to be a creative space. He was already doing hardware and software for I think for the automotive industry, and so he wanted to do that. And we said कि Salame is released 1.5 साल में खत्म हो जाएगा. It took me 7 years. I took 7 years to make that film because I just kept wanting it to be better and better and better and better and better. Delhi Safari, most people don't know, had a Hollywood release with Vanessa Williams and I think Brad Gilbert and very, very, very well-known TV stars. And the second part, which is China Safari, apparently is now going to be released because a big Hollywood studio bought the IP from Kishore Patel. So yeah, so we have to stop calling it cartoons.
Would you like to now maybe venture in the animation space and maybe tell stories?
Anytime.
Yeah.
I would love to do the animation. I'd made Delhi Safari in 2006. I started Delhi Safari in 2006. My daughter was just born at that time. And I said that she's not going to be able to watch the films that I want to watch for some time. So I didn't make a cartoon. Really, it was about 1.5 साल में बन जाएगा यार ये animation film.
It took 7 years.
Took me 7 years. She was 13. She was 7 when the film released, and she loved it. So now she's 17. But and now I don't think that she'll want to watch Delhi Safari. I think she watches quite a lot of different stuff now. Yeah. But I think that if you get a good solid script, and the Delhi Safari script was a solid script, then you should make it.
Next month in November, it'll be 20 years to Kal Ho Naa Ho.
Yeah.
That was, of course, your debut film
Yeah.
starring Shah Rukh Khan. How do you look back at that film, Nikhil sir?
Well, a lot of mixed feelings. I have a lot of mixed feelings with Kal Ho Naa. A lot of people come to me today and even now and say, why don't you do a remake of Kal Ho Naa? Now, first of all, I can't do a remake of Kal Ho Naa. A very, very big part of Kal Ho Naa Ho is us two people. One is Karan Johar and the other is Yash Johar. So Yash Johar is no more, and Karan literally gave me a full bound script and said, "Here, go shoot it." Right? It with dialogue and with everything. So it's very unfair to just ask me why can't you make it. I have reasons why you can't make it, because I mean, just imagine if I had a scene called Chhe Din Ladki and all the girls over there will be protesting outside the theatre. Just imagine if I had the climax of the film where two men are saying, "Is janam mein wo tumhari meri hogi, agle 6 janam mein tum wo," and a girl is standing outside and they are deciding for her.
Wow.
They'll just come, the women will say, what nonsense, you don't think we can decide by ourselves? Who are they to decide
Today,
for us?
It's a different world.
So the world has changed, right? The world has changed. Falling in love is not so simple anymore. Romance is not so simple anymore. Saying I love you is not so simple anymore. Or rather, it has become complicated. I don't know why it has become complicated, but it has become complicated. It used to be very, very simple. So therefore the mixed feelings, that I think that it's there is no question that nobody, I don't think any young aspiring director has been given the opportunity that Karan Johar and Yash Johar gave me to make that film. And that is the only thing that I keep doing, whether it is with Gaurav, or whether it is with Abhay, or whether it is with Ashima, whether it is with Mitakshara. I just try to keep paying it forward. Somebody did it with me, so I just keep trying to do it with others, right? But the most everlasting impression, everlasting memory for me, as far as Kal Ho Naa Ho is concerned, is unfortunately very sad, because it's the film where halfway into the filming of the film in New York, we discovered that Yash uncle was had cancer, and then he fought, and finally in June of the next year he passed away. So yes, elated, but a bittersweet, because he was really a very, very big. I don't know, he was really big. Force in my career and my life. Yeah.
But then, do you remember how it all started? Which was the first shot you took? Which were the scenes you were most excited about?
The first shot that I took in Kal Ho Naa Ho is not in the film.
Okay.
It's not there. We actually started in January. We started shooting in what was an entire track which is not there in the film. It's called in the community center with Achla Sachdev and Zora Sehgal, and it's a community center where Preeti Zinta's character Naina actually goes to volunteer, and it belongs, half of them are Pakistanis and half of them are Indians, and it was a beautiful take on what really has now become quite ugly. I was just watching the cricket the other day, and it's become quite ugly, this whole India-Pakistan rivalry, which I think Karan had done fantastically with two old women at each other's throat. They had actually divided the community center with the line, and so he had really taken a wonderfully humorous approach to this rivalry, and that's where Shah Rukh actually. So this the very famous and now much loved scene where he reaches the empty diary was first shot. That was his first scene in Kal Ho Naa Ho. Shah Rukh's first scene in Kal Ho Naa Ho was that scene, which actually we reshot at the train station 6 months later, because we just let go of the entire track. Yeah.
So then, which was that scene, or which were those scenes, which were you most excited about while shooting the film, or when you saw them on the?
I have. There are many things that I think Karan has been gracious enough to say that whether it's Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, we were so young that there was no, it was very amorphous. There was no distinct lines between a team and a director, right? As Tarun Mansukani, myself, Anjali Bhushan, Mamta, Puneet Malhotra, Kapil Chopra, we would all give suggestions and this thing. I think that suggestions and our advice or not advice, I mean, basically, a feedback. But I think that what I used to enjoy the most was the spatterings of so-called thrills. In Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, there is a title credit which Shah Rukh has taken called Thrills.
Yeah.
So Shah Rukh and I would go and shoot some of that stuff. It was the basketball in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, whether it was his entry in through the helicopter in Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, or whether it was in the case of Kal Ho Naa Ho, where he runs through the whole of New York. I love doing. I am a big Shah Rukh Khan fan, and I think he asked me that, I've just had a heart attack. Why am I running? I say, Shah Rukh, you look so good when you run. You just run. Women go mad. He said, let's take.
The film had an amazing soundtrack. Each song is so good. What we call the soundtrack providing that wholesome entertainment.
Yeah.
So, which was your favorite song from the film?
Kal Ho Naa Ho, the title song. There's no question about it. I mean, I think that it's not only a special song, it's also the way we went about composing it. I think Ehsan has given some kind of interview recently where he detailed. Loy and I we had gone to Blue Diamond Hotel in Pune to compose the album. They had done that with Dil Chahta Hai very successfully, and I said, yeah, we should do the same thing. So they had gone to Goa, and we went to
Pune. And accidentally he played the theme
We didn't
track.
go to New York. We should have gone to New York, but we didn't go to New York. So we went to German bakery in the morning. Ehsan and Shankar were still sleeping. Javed Saab was also asleep, and Loy and I went, and Loy said, what kind of song? And I said, I wanted to be like that Titanic, like Celine Dion, Heart Will Go On, that kind of everlasting kind of song. It should be for ages. People should be. And he hummed the tune, dang, 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 dang. I said, and I had a Nokia phone or whatever, recorded it. We went upstairs. The equipment was all in another suite, and Loy played on the piano. I said, fantastic. As soon as Loy was playing in the piano, Shankar came in at that time. He had just finished his breakfast, and he said, hey, what do you? It's too good. And he added the percussion to it. He had the beats to it, the clicks to it. Ehsan came in. Ehsan said, what are you guys playing on? This is fab. And he went inside the other room and he composed the Antara. He came in Antara and he had this thing. And then Javed Saab came in finally, and he said he heard the whole, by which time they had done the dhacha of the song. And he said that, okay, you guys don't even know what you guys have done. We did not know. I mean, we didn't. He said that when we all die, they'll only play this song. They'll play this song. ये हमारी श्रद्धांजलि होगी. So he said, I'm not going to write it now. I will take my time to write it. 4 months later, I was in New York. I was flying back to Bombay. I was at the Kennedy airport, JFK airport, and Javed Saab called me up and he said, I've got it. So I said, Har ghadi badal. He said, Har ghadi badal rahi hai roop zindagi. Chhaav hai kabhi kabhi hai dhoop zindagi. I said, Javed Saab, no hit song has started with the word Har.
Okay.
And he said, and he rattled out 100 songs. Har dil jo pyar karega, har kisi ka. I said, okay, I give up, let's go with it. So I think that the process in which the song came about was very, very special.
You're somebody who, if tomorrow writes a book, you have some of the juiciest gossip about Bollywood, about movie stars.
Yeah.
Today, if I please request you to jog your memory and share any funny story or a demand that you have fulfilled of an artist.
Demand that I have fulfilled of an artist.
Like really weird. Like
I think that demand that I have done very willingly was from Mr. Rishi Kapoor. So we used to live in Pali Hill. His bungalow was right next to my building, and we became very close. During Patiala House, we became very close, and then subsequently I went and asked him to play Dawood in B-Day. And everybody knows that Mr. Kapoor loves to have evening tipple. He would love to, and he has a lovely outhouse, which now I think the bungalow is being reconstructed and redeveloped into another house. But he would drive by my house, and he would pick up. At 8 o'clock, I would get a call, and I knew 8 o'clock if Chintu ji is calling me, matlab he is calling me to have a drink with him. And I would say, Rishi ji, I'm in Sudhir's office in Andheri. He should say, shut up, I've just passed your building, I've seen your car. Come right now. So I would go. It would end up 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock at night. Everything. So it's not a demand. It's that I also loved hearing the same. Nobody has more stories to say about the industry than the Kapoors.
Okay.
They are literally the first family of this. So just to hear him talk so fondly of a time that was dedicated not to the Friday, Saturday and Sunday number, but dedicated to relationships, how they went about making films. I mean, it's just incredible when you hear stories of how Yash Chopra went about casting Silsila, or whether it is about Rishi Kapoor, how he agreed finally to play the role in Kabhi Kabhi. The fact that in Amar Akbar, like Amar Akbar Anthony, right? We say that you're in the climax of Rishi Kapoor told me this. He said you're in the climax of the film. All the villains are looking for these three guys. These three guys are wearing bad disguises and singing "Anhoni ko honi kar de, honi ko anhoni." Ek jagah jamao tino Amar Akbar Anthony. They're saying we are here, and these guys are dancing away. So it's the magic of cinema that he would talk about so fondly, which I used to just love going and just sitting and I would literally sit. By the third drink, he stopped calling me by my name. He would say, "Boy." boy, make me a good one. And so I was just, I
But-
just loved that.
But please tell us about how an artist once demanded a hairdresser who actually was deported from one country.
Oh
and-
yeah, so I mean, did demand in the sense she was we were doing Katti Batti, and Kangana was her hairdresser, his India work permit uh, India work permit got this thing expired, and he was sent back to France, and we were in continuity, and he took the hair extensions with him, and instead of sending them back, he said, I want to come back, and so now we had to get him back. And I said, what to do. My wife's mother's very close friend was married to the ambassador of the United States, Indian ambassador of the United States. And I called him up and I said, I need to get this visa for this hairdresser. And he looked at me, and he's much older than I am. He said, is he Vidal Sasson? Is he the number one hairdresser in the world? Why do you? I said, I don't know. We have to get the hairdresser, because otherwise my shoot is not going to happen. So then we got him. They went and they picked him up from his house, and they brought him in a limousine. They got him to the Indian embassy, and they gave him a visa, and he came.
You have spent close to 30 years in the industry.
Yeah.
You started your career with Sudhir Mishra in the early 90s.
Yes.
What is that one quality you think that you have which is very old school?
I think the ability to value the take is very important. We grew up with cans, film cans. Film cans were very expensive. When I was an associate on Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, I had to sign off 8 cans today, 10 cans tomorrow. So when we would have to do a high speed shot, 48 frames, we would be very careful. We have to cut down, because now you're actually using double the amount of footage and raw footage. So I think the value, the efficiency is something that is whether it is working on an indie film with Sudhir Mishra, or whether, for all intents and purposes, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai was an indie film. It was being made by a debut director. Today it may be considered to be one of the biggest blockbusters in the country. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that Yash Johar had just had a series of films that had not done well, that were not successful, and he was launching his debut, his son as a debut director. So it was completely an indie. He's just fortunate that Shah Rukh and Kajol, the guys who had done Dilwale, had agreed to do this film. But it was at the end of the day, and we released on the same day as Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, which is David Dhawan with Amitabh Bachchan and Govinda, right? So we were really the dark horse in that year. It's just that it just took off.
Yeah. So like you said, you value friendship a lot in the industry. You of course have access to the biggest stars, from Akshay Kumar to Salman Khan. When you made The Empire, which streamed on Disney Plus Hotstar, did this thought ever cross your mind that what if you were spoiling Ranveer Singh's party, because he of course announced Takht?
No, it's 6 years. With Empire, it would take me, if Empire went into season after season, I would reach Ranveer's story only after 6 seasons. I knew Takht was about Aurangzeb and Dara Shukha. So I also know very well that, see, the thing is that the way I approach, if I have a bound script and I have a set of actors, and I give the bound script and the set of actors to 2 different directors, each director will tell their own story. I don't view a script as the end point. I always view the script as the beginning. From here, where do you take it? It's what the director is feeling at that time. It's what the storyteller is feeling at that time. It's their own experiences at that time. It's their voice. If that doesn't come through, and I think that whether it is Mumbai Diaries, whether it is Rocket Boys, whether it is POW, whether it is Batla House, whether it is now Veda, which we are doing, I have become more and more how do I put it? More and more cognizant of the voice that is there somewhere inside my head. Otherwise, I don't do it. Otherwise, I won't do it.
And finally, I read an interview of yours where you've said that we don't value our musicians a lot. You of course were talking about how in the West even a violin player gets royalty. Why do you think in India we don't value our musicians? And do you miss the old days of composing music with the entire orchestra?
I don't think we value. I don't think we value talent at all. I forget. We are right now. We are only talking about music directors, and we should talk about music directors and composers and musicians and singers and lyrics writers. But we don't value talent. I mean, I think that it's unfortunate that the unions that we are all members of are there only to arbitrate if they tomorrow have a problem. Where's the health? Why are they not making? Why they're not insisting that the studios are safer, are more sanitized, are a safe environment for everybody, whether it is men, whether it's women, whether it's for young women. There's so many now young girls, women who are working in all departments. It needs to be more safer for everybody, right? And then on top of that, why are people not being given credited in terms of not only credit but in terms of just I did a small role in this particular film which is now a blockbuster. For the rest of my life I should be getting some kind of residuals on that. We don't have that system over here. I don't understand why. I think that is something that we need to change. Everything is so top heavy, it doesn't percolate, it doesn't permeate, it doesn't come down, which is something that we have to correct very big time. I mean, we want to emulate the West in so many things. उन लोग ने इस तरह से shot लिया, इस equipment से shot लिया. Before you know that equipment is down, we are using it without knowing how to use it. उन लोग ने VFX इस तरह से किया, we are using it without knowing how to use. But we are not doing it when it just comes to people's livelihood,
sharing revenue, money. Nikhil sir, your next directorial is titled Veda, which stars John Abraham. The film is still in the making. What stage are you at, and what can we expect from Veda?
So Veda stars John Abraham, Sharvari Wagh, Abhishek Banerjee, Ashish Vidyarthi, amongst other. We have finished 95% of the film, and one thing I learned with everything that we've done right now is that I want to finish editing first and then do the last 5%, just in case I want to patch in some stuff, plug in some stuff. So we've finished most of the stuff. 2-3 big action sequences are left, which we are prepping for right now. It'll release in summer of 2024.
Well, thank you so much for that enlightening conversation.
Thank you.
Looking forward to many more surprises from you.
Thank you so much.
All the best, and thank you so much, sir.